So Laurie has stepped in for Johanna, a good friend of hers, and I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be grand. Laurie Hailey lives in Walnut Creek, California, and part-time in the village of Oxford, New York. She taught English in Pittsburgh, California for 25 years, and she co-authored Love's Meditation with Mary Eichbauer, Johanna Ely, and Deborah Bachels Schmidt that was published by Random Lane Press in 2023. She's been published in anthologies such as Unsettled and Nooks and Crannies, both published by Benicia Literary Arts, and NYPC 16, an anthology by Most Street Poetry. Laurie has been recognized with awards in the Inner Coolbrith Poets Dinner and the Inner Coolbrith Circle Contest. So she is a well-known poet in our area, and I'm so glad to have her here.
Hi. Well, thank you, Dan, so much for having me read this evening, and thank you to all the poets. I am enjoyed all your poetry thoroughly tonight. Um, I selected some of the poems tonight to align with the theme of empathy, and the first three poems I'm going to read are poems about my mother. And unfortunately, sometimes we don't really recognize our love and even our empathy for those closest to us until after they are gone, but they become good fodder for poetry. So the first poem I'm going to read out of our book, Love's Meditation, that I co-wrote with Mary and Deborah, who are here tonight, and Johanna, who is sick. Um, with no more ado. This is called A Proper Morning for My Mother. An unexpected long goodbye found its way after your death. Better an old-fashioned Irish keening, women draped in black, a lament of barn owl screeching for hours, days, a public display giving voice to grief. Instead, I incarcerated this unearthly howl, released little by little, a ghostly mist seeping through chinks of memory, escaping on the trickle of a tear. I have stitched over a deep gash the need to mourn with sterile smiles and denial of love. And the next poem I'm going to read is it's a pantoum in which the second and the fourth lines of each stanza becomes the first and third lines. And the last line is sometimes the same as the first, which creates this kind of repetition. And I use this structure to try and evoke the eternal repetition of the last time my mother and I held each other. Our last hug, pantoum for my mother. You reach for me, your gray eyes, deep pulls of knowing, salvation a silent embrace, starfish slipping from a starlit sky, a settling between warm sand and sea. Salvation a silent embrace, inner aurora dancing beneath closed eyes, a settling between warm sand and sea, waves washing effortlessly, a singing arpeggio of forgiveness. Inner aurora dancing beneath closed eyes, electron halos of amaranthine and viridescent green, waves washing effortlessly, a singing arpeggio of forgiveness, distilling into hushed winged heartbeats. Electron halos of amaranthine and viridescent green, pirouetting spirals and ancient stardust falling, distilling into hushed winged heartbeats. You reach for me, your gray eyes, deep pulls of knowing. Thank you. And the last mom poem is more of an imaginative, happy ending poem called After the Spreading of Ashes. Let's say my mother comes back to life, rising from the ocean in a robe of green seaweed, head draped in braids of pink coral, studded with purple flowering anemones, her tiny scaled feet surfing on inches of undulating foam. Let's say she takes my hand and we walk along the shore. She whispers secrets of the sea while the people we meet look away, discomfited by the intimacy between the sea creature and me. My mother, gleaming and glistening, tells me adventurous tales of taming seahorses, how they gallop alongside dolphins and whales, avoiding crabs, rays, and sharks, surviving earthquakes and volcanic eruptions, riding on the crests of tsunamis. Let's say my mother gently pulls me toward the sea, beckoning with her green eyes. Her briny breath murmurs, pleads, join me. And how could I refuse this wild and whimsical entity? We could make up for lost time, elide the boundaries between our once fractious lives, head out to sea and each other's perfect company forever. Thank you. This one is not a mom poem, and it is called Fallen Leaves. The ground lies undisturbed before the wall, protected from the wind for just so long. Then gusts brush the dirt and lift the leaves. They speak an inscrutable language between where stillness lies and movement breathes. Amid the dust, leaves twist and kiss. They fight to stay in the air as if stillness were a sin and the wind everything. Thank you. The next poem is I wrote about a woman I met in the Stockton State Mental Hospital when I was 17 and doing volunteer work there, not as an inmate, although I think my mother would have liked to have had me go there too. But anyway, this is called Dorothy. In 1950, after they scramble your brain, you wake to a new world, inhaling accusations, holding your breath until they curdle through your body, leaving you in a constant state of wantonness, the lobotomy ensuring your permanent residency in the Stockton Mental Institution. In 1970, you have grown plump and middle-aged. You walk the halls, swaying and swinging your hips as you slide side to side, side to side. When Steve, the psychiatric technician, appears, you bat your eyes, display a black smudge of mascara. You break into a wide smile, your red lipstick drawn above lip line, touching the base of your nose. You sigh, your voice dripping with flirtatious tremor. Oh, Steve, you old baboon, don't you toy with me. But you have become the toy, a clown, your sexuality turned inside out, flaunting and deviant, assuring your accusers they have done the right thing. The world will remain safe as long as you are locked away. In 1995, the Stockton State Hospital closes. Your accusers indifferent or dead. I imagine the doors of the asylum opening. Finally free, you sashay down the sidewalk, hands on hips, head bent back, laughing as you gaze straight into the sun. Thank you. This poem is an ekphrastic poem written in response to Jack, who is Nanette Weil's photograph of the head of a baby doll. And I have it right here. I think that you can see it if I hold it up like this. There's little Jack. And I'll read it while I'm holding it up. It's called Still Life. You display such humanity, molded into still life by human hands, then transformed by the camera's lens, the artist's eye. I am afraid of you. Yes, I know that you are not real, made of some kind of composite material, sprung from sawdust, wood, resin, and flour, but still, Jack, your unflinching gaze on your baby face reveals human knowing, understanding, a soul flickering through your eyes of gleaming glass. The pinch of your baby lips hints at deep sadness, as if you were about to tremble into tears. Of what are you afraid? Thank you. And this next poem is called First Date. And I had to reach back into the spring of my life to write this very short poem. First Date. My world was small, made smaller in the back seat of a car. Pressed open lips, retracted tongues, no French kissing, our heads circling round and round and round, a naive carousel of love. Hours later, when I returned home, my mother asked how the bowling went. I shrugged. I'm not very good yet, but I'll improve with practice. Thank you. And this poem I just wrote a few weeks ago, and it's called Seasons. Winter. We startle into this life. Our first sound, a battle cry, lungs filling with the cold snow of light. We seek permanence and warmth in milky breasts, shelter in cradling arms. We grow, venture out, triumph over icy stone landscapes where, stumbling and bruised, we learn to steady ourselves, to walk into spring. Spring. This is the time of daffodils, showy and brazen, bold with promise. We romp and play in snow-melted fields, our fickle hearts given first to one and then to another. We fight, connive, dream. We plant our seeds in green fields for the summer to come. Summer. We walk in pleasure and pain, across amber pastures where trails widen and narrow willy-nilly toward winding rivers. High-pitched warblers sing, crows soar and caw, and we forge on. We forge on in love through fear and loss, glide over gleaming paths, trudge through sultry marshes. We take for granted the gifts of summer, the long hours, the warmth of the sun, the strong, keen ability of the mind. We forge on as if the fall will never come. Fall. We saunter on gentle slopes, embrace the beauty of slanted light, the lengthening of rays, the casting of long shadows. We drift into indolent days of mourning doves' sorrowful coos, our hearts wiser, our bodies wizened. We retreat, cease to recognize the pastures we knew, our wings heavy, our breath labored, our minds quieted. Still the hands we held stay with us, protect us against the night chill. We leave this earth wrapped and warmed by those who have loved and carried us. We leave astounded by the life we have lived. We float on broad rivers, gaze at burning stars, into a world yet to come. Thank you. And this is my final poem, or the last poem I'm reading tonight. Hopefully, not my final poem. And it's called The Drift for Mark. The sycamore tree releases its grasp. of a single solemn leaf. The amber light of an early autumn illuminates the splendor of brown and gold modeling as it is carried on a slight breeze, performing brises and pirouettes until it gently lands on the cold ground. When does the body release its grasp of the soul, if we have a soul? Does it leave us little by little as the mind thickens and the face softens? Does it too wander about bewildered? Once, my love, you were grounded in reality, the daily grind and joy of everyday living. Now comes the drift into dreams. You are leaving me little by little. Soon, in the afterglow, I will call across a mystical lake to you in the deep, mellow, dark and longing voice of the loon. Thank you.
Now
That's all.
you do have a few more minutes if you'd like to read something.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I'm fine with that. If that's
Yeah,
okay
you
with
do
everyone.
have 5 minutes left, so but if you can stop whenever you like.
We'll move on. I think that's I like to leave you wanting for more.
Well, you did.
You did that.
So
You
come
did
on
that.
back.
I
Folks,
would.
unmute and let her know. Let me just do that, please. Let her know.
Yeah.
Good readings, Laurie.
Great.
Wonderful.
Yay.
Thank you
Great
very much.
readings.
Woo, woo, woo,
We
woo.
love you, Lori.
Love you guys. Thank you. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you,
It's a
Lori.
pleasure to read too. Thank you very much.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful
Honor.
work.
Well, it's an honor to read in front of so many wonderful poets. So thank you so much.